God, Shrew was right. We should never have given birth to you. We should have burnt you to a crisp in that holding cell, written you off as a bad mistake, a god that lectures you while it eats you. Fuck. One look at you and I want to start tearing down temples myself. Maybe this is why the gods have to remain mysteries to the rest of us, you know? If we could see your faces, we'd know you as hateful. And who could stand to live knowing that?
Have a seat, Press Secretary Carson. Please. I've got one more question for you before I kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, go on, ask it. Come on, I'm ready.
What did you want to be when you were small? You didn't want to be this. I'm sure of that. No child wants to become something like you. I wanted to be a ballerina.
A ballerina?
Yes. They retire young, ballerinas. Someone told me that, and it stuck with me. They train and they practice harder than anyone else to hit that incredible athletic peak, and in spite of all the hard work, they can never quite recover once their bodies begin to age. I was naive enough to think that sounded wonderful. I could dazzle the masses. I could create some astonishing body of work on stage, and the crowds would adore me. For a time. And then I'd retire young. And all of the effort and struggle of my life would be behind me. And I'd spend 40 years reading in a hammock under the soft sun, in some small wooden cabin far from anyone else. And I'd never have to worry about keeping myself alive from one day to the next. That was the plan for my life. I practiced the moves every day for about a year. I begged my mother for lessons. But I never really had it in me. And in time, I forgot what I had wanted to be. How about you?
I wanted to be a milkman. Yeah. Yeah, we had a milkman in our village out in the moorlands. Old guy with a thick white moustache like he dipped it in the milk. He knew everyone by name. All of us loved him. The kids would chase after his float. And sometimes you'd see him out early and he'd ask after your family, or he'd tell you it was a beautiful day, or if it was going to rain, he'd find some good in that as well. He could always find something to say to give you comfort, and it never seemed like effort. And sometimes you'd never see him at all. And there'd just be a cold milk bottle left on your doorstep, like an offering. I always wanted people to like me just as much as they liked him. And I was always afraid that they never would.
You were a milkman. That's what I've been told. You grew up far from the city. A village on the moorlands. And you never thought to stray any further. You worked as a milkman all your life. In that village where you grew up. You never harmed a soul, and you never told a lie. And every single day of your life was warm greetings and milk bottles that you left like offerings upon doorsteps. You'd share a kind word with the people you met. And the comfort you gave them, that was a comfort like nothing else in this world. You were happy, and you were satisfied, and you remained kind. And the years and the decades went on like this, and eventually you grew old. And you had a family along the way, if you wanted one. And if you didn't want one, nobody ever made you feel like that was something lacking in you. But the important thing is that when you died, after a very long and wonderful life, you didn't die alone. You didn't die in pain or in fear, but in your own bed, gently and with grace. The last thing you felt as you slipped away into the abyss was a hand squeezing your hand, a kind word in your ear, a gift returned for all of the comfort you had given them. And after you died, even though in time you were forgotten, those who had known you carried your kindness onwards, and so the love and the care that had been the most essential parts of you, these currents ran on, and they spread across the land like clean water over parched soil, and in time, beautiful things began to grow. And this was your lasting inheritance.
I was a milkman.
Yes. You were.
And you, Val. You were a ballerina. You danced. And afterwards, you read your books in the sunlight, far from anyone, for as long as you wanted. You danced, and then you didn't.